Everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international well-ring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double Expense, Double Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including thirst, quiz of pains, and King David Psalms. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, 50 podcast platforms, heard in 110 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, plus Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok as well. We're here with an amazing gentleman who's worked with dozens of trade associations for 20 plus years, including government agencies in D.C. He also served as FEMA's first director of news information. Began his career at 18 as a photojournalist. Later became a reporter, announcer, manager, TV producer, director, network executive. He's done it all. He also taught broadcasting at 4 universities, runs his own communication consulting firm for 20 years. And he's got a new book. Basically, it's 20 years of internet humor. We'll share some amazing stories, what he's got to offer, what he's got to say, and all his experiences in an amazing broadcasting career. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Blush Studios in beautiful downtown Toledo. The amazing, multi-talented photojournalist, reporter, announcer, and the author of the book called 20 Years of Internet Humor from WG Communications, multi-talented Bill Williams. Bill, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for the invitation. It's good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you on board. So you worked with dozens of trade associations for 20 plus years, including government agencies in D.C. You also served as FEMA's first director of news information. You began a career at 18 as a photojournalist, then a reporter, announcer, TV producer, director, network executive. You taught broadcasting at 4 different universities, and you also run your own communications consulting firm for 20 years. You have a new book out, which is basically a collection of internet humor for 20 years. And before getting all that, Bill, tell us how you first got started.
I was looking
way
for
back
a job.
machine, way back.
Way back when. Okay. I got a job at the university. I was looking for something to do, and they offered me a job as a photographer. I didn't know anything about photography, so I went out and bought a whole bunch of books and learned on the job, so to speak. Turned out to be a great thing because I spent a whole career in photography, won a bunch of awards for it when I finally got out. But I had started out to be an engineer. I thought I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. I grew up on military bases. My dad was a career man in the Air Force. And I got my pilot's license in high school and wanted to fly. But once I got into college, I discovered I hated math. So maybe engineering wasn't really what I was looking for.
Okay.
I changed careers a bunch of times in college. Spent 5 years as an undergraduate. I was sitting in the union one time with all the different places I'd been in terms of studying. A friend of mine on the faculty was sitting with me having a cup of coffee, and he said, I was looking at your transcript, and you've got enough hours to graduate next semester.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I jumped up, grabbed him by the shirt collars, and said, great, in what? And he said, well, if you take another 3 classes in speech, you can graduate as a speech major.
Nice.
Well, the radio and television departments were part of speech, and I was already managing the radio station. So I said, that's a no-brainer. I'll be a speech major.
Okay.
So I got out with a bachelor's degree in speech and went looking for a job, didn't find one, went back to grad school. Got a master's in broadcasting and journalism.
Okay.
And that was the start.
And plus, you also worked your way through, being like a reporter, announcer, everything like that. And what was that one exact precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
I beg your pardon? Would you?
What was that? What was that one exact precise moment, which is a light bulb moment, that influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
I can't really say there was one because every time I turned around, there was something new going on. And I said, well, let's try that. Let's try something different. And like I said, I had probably 5 different majors in college trying to find something I liked. And I could have done, with just about any of them, except German. I majored in German for a very short while, and that didn't last long.
Ah, German. Yeah. Do you still remember your German and some of the phrases and everything?
A few of the phrases, but that was 60 years ago, so there's not a lot left in this whole brain. Okay.
Well, you've got some other things as well, too. You also spent 20 years of internet humor and some of the things you got started, blazing your trail and all that. And you Blaze a trail with FEMA. Get that with Bill Williams. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Powered by SoundClap Studios. Visit online at SoundClapStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SoundClap Studios is the answer. SoundClap Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and E11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2, Double the Suspense, Double the Fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by a Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite pains and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives new perspective of David through Psalms you wrote as the time of his shepherd started and complicate your turbulent relationship with King Saul. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out the Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, 50 podcast platforms. Heard in 110 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, plus Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and more. Make sure you take us with you on any mobile device. Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and more. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with amazing, multi-talented photojournalist, reporter, announcer, manager, TV exec, and the author of the book, 20 Years of Internet Humor, the president of WG Communications, Bill Williams, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, before we get to some of your book and your career, you had served as FEMA's first director of news and info. And tell us more about that part.
Well, in Washington, like I said, I was there 20 years. The Federal Disaster Assistance Administration was looking for freelance people to go out and help with disasters. People who had PR experience, the writing fit the bill for me. So I did that for 3 or 4 years, and actually became the guy who they called on to work in the the Washington office. For example, I covered 3 Mile Island and Love Canal, things of that nature, as the voice of the federal government. And then when FEMA was first created, I was down in Alabama covering Hurricane Frederick. And I got a call saying, hey, we want you to come back and, run the office for us as we get this thing going, because FEMA was a big deal. It actually took the Federal Disaster Assistance Administration and 12 other agencies, including Civil Defense and a bunch of others, and put them all together in one spot. And they needed somebody to coordinate the whole thing. So for the next year, I did that almost as a full-time basis. I was doing it as a consultant, but it took the majority of my time. And that's when we had things like Mount St. Helens. You might have remembered that. And,
I remember. Yeah, what was it, 1980 that blew up or something? That was big news.
Right. Then also the Cuban boat lift came over at that time, and FEMA was handling that as well. So I was down in Key West as the Cubans came over. So it kept me busy. But then we had an election. The administration changed, and I was out of a job.
Oh, wow.
Which was unfortunate, because working with FEMA was the best thing I had ever done. I could have stayed with that for the rest of my career and not been the least bit disappointed. But went back to working with government agencies and doing films and educational programs, training programs. And I was also a lobbyist. I worked with the Independent Media Producers Association and helped get a couple of laws passed to help TV and film producers that were working for the government.
Okay.
And that was a big deal. For example, the Prompt Payment Act. I was testifying before Congress, and one of the things I was able to hold up was an invoice of mine, which took the government agency 15 months to pay. When they finally got around,
all that money, it took that long to pay. Was there a typical path to bureaucratic red tape, or was there a process, or did they simply just forget about it?
It's not that they just forget about it. It wasn't a big deal for them. Hey, we don't
Oh,
have to do it. But the kicker was when they finally did make the payment, they took their prompt payment discount.
oh,
And so we got the Prompt Payment Act of 1984 passed, which said the government had to pay their bills on time just like anybody else. And I thought that was a major accomplishment.
yeah. It sounded like it was some of the other bills that you helped pass besides the Prompt Act.
Well, it was active in the Copyright Act of 1984 as well. One of the things I was there, I was testifying with the chairman of Sony. And in my testimony, I pointed out that, the way the bill was written, if anything is ever put on videotape, they would lose all the copyrights for it. And the chairman of Sony turned to his lawyers and said, with all the money I'm paying with you guys, why didn't you discover that?
Oh my gosh. Boy, I
Yeah,
remember that was a big deal back then. They were afraid they're going to lose money and everything like that. And if I got past, I think that got started like what, 1981 or 82? I guess, what was it?
it got
VCRs first
started. It
came
was
out.
actually passed in '84, I believe.
Okay, all right. And of
Yeah,
course, now it's like they were wrong. It's like, back then they think they're gonna lose money. Now it's just like you buy it for what, 5, 10, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks with all these sets, and you can rent for like what, $1.99, $3.99, $5.99. That's just book Blockbuster on the map. And it's like, you're afraid of losing money. How come Blockbuster know you all of us to help you make money? I guess that's the question. So
well, anyway, that was basically my legislative experience. I found other things that I was doing, and basically trying to keep busy with the stuff that I was working with. I had projects in Scandinavia, projects in Poland, all over the country, working for the Navy, the Air Force, and most of the government agencies. Postal Service was one of my big clients.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Uh, Started with them producing TV spots because whenever the Postal Service back then came out with a new commemorative stamp, they'd do a public service announcement for it. And they'd been doing 30-second spots, and then they came aboard, or I came aboard, and they said, any ideas for how we can get better play on these? And I said, sure, make them longer. And they said, well, 30 seconds is the standard. And I said, yeah, let's do a 90-second one. And we did. It was for the Robert Frost stamp, a 10-cent stamp. And it got better play than anything they'd ever done before. And the reason being, because I knew this because I'd worked at a TV station. And whenever you had public service announcements they were all distributed on film, and so the guys back in the telecine room would have to splice them together and put them in the film projector and all that sort of stuff. And if they're having to splice three 30-second spots together, I thought maybe they'd rather just splice one 90-second spot together. And the result was they got more play out of that than anything they'd ever done before.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought it'd be more of the attention span to worry about. Do you think 90-second ads are still going to work in today's society, or will the 30s be better off, or maybe cut it down to 15? Because it seems like the attention span has gotten shorter and shorter over the years.
Well, you're absolutely right. And things are going so fast now that I can't keep up with what's going on. And I would have to say I probably missed 90% of what they're trying to tell me. But this was in an earlier year, and things were more leisurely, and you actually had a chance to look at some nice pictures.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. And of course, you also taught some university as well, too. Just where you taught and everything else, and plus you ran your own firm for 20 years.
Right. And even while I was running my firm in Washington, I had a request to teach advanced news production at the University of Maryland, which is right outside of Washington. So I did that for a year as well, advanced news production. And so what I did was just whatever it took to keep me busy in the course of the day.
Mm-hmm. And what were some more unusual projects that you got in, or maybe one of the more funnier ones that you've done as well?
Well, I don't know if it was funny, but it was certainly unusual. The Postal Service again. They asked, did I have any ideas of how they could get more people to collect stamps so they can buy stamps and not actually use them? And I said, sure, start stamp collectors in the early years in school. And you could do that by using stamps as a teaching tool. And they said, put a program together for us. So I put a program together called the American History on Stamps. And we put this thing together. It included a lot of stamp material. It included posters for the room. It included teaching materials for the teachers so that they knew how to use it. And it was a really nice package, and it would probably have cost 10 or 12 bucks for it, but the Postal Service said, no, we just want to keep it for $5.
Okay.
And the reason being is that we want teachers just to buy it and not have to do a purchase order. I said, I don't know that that's going to work because I think you'll be getting purchase orders for $5. And they said, no, we won't. And my goal was if I could do 1,500 sales of these things, it would be considered a total success. Well, it was a disaster, actually, because I sold 20,000 of these things. And 95% of them all came in with purchase orders, which totally blew the Postal Service out of the water because they had no plans to handle that much paperwork. And it was so successful, they canceled the entire project.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, we
I
were
cannot
planning.
imagine that.
Yeah, they were planning and publicized it as 4 different programs, but we only got the first one out there because they lost so much money on it.
Oh my gosh! And then with the current situation with the postal service and everything like that, what would you do to increase the efficiency of the postal service? You did public service ads, campaigns, and everything like that. What if you continue to help out the postal service? What would you be your next project?
Uh, Good question. Mike, when you ask that, you have to keep in mind that this was half a century ago. Okay, and I have no contacts with the Postal Service other than getting a mail delivered every day, fortunately, and using them for whatever the Postal Service will do for me. So I have no knowledge of the internal workings of the Postal Service at this point. I'm far, far past that.
Hmm. And you also have collected as well too. It's not just with the mail as well too, communicating. You also have 20 years of internet humor, and of course, those who check mail, emails, everything like that. We'll get to that with Bill Williams. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international well-ring author Mia Molson Missing, a sweet psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including theories, quiz of pains, and King David Psalms. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. We'll be back with multi-talent author Bill Williams of 20 years of internet humor and WG Communications after this time. We're back with author Billy Williams of 20 years of internet humor, volume 1, and other things here on the Mike Wagner Show. With you being a successful career in film, TV, and journalism, you made a career change as well to becoming a financial advisor, and you tried a new thing called email. And tell us more about that part, according to your book, 20 Years of Internet Humor.
Well, after 20 years in Washington, I became a father. I had 2 daughters, and living as a military brat, and I'd gone to 14 schools before I got out of high school, and I had moved around and enjoyed moving around, but I didn't want my daughters to have the same kind of experience. I wanted them to have a hometown. So my wife had friends in the area that we lived in Ohio when I was there. And so we moved back to Ohio, and in Northwest Ohio, there wasn't a big demand for film producers. So I decided I needed to do something else and decided to change careers and became a financial advisor. I sort of thought I wasn't going to like it, but I thoroughly enjoy it, and turned out I was good at it.
Nice.
So this was when the internet first came out, and a lot of folks had it, and email was something else and didn't really know how to do it. They were used to bulletin boards and things like that.
Or memos, sticky pads, 3Ms, everything else,
Right.
or handwrittens. I think also in the day, I think they had these little keyboards that you got like a Casio. You just, punch in your notes and everything. I remember having one of those things. Those are a lot of fun.
BlackBerry.
Yes, Blackberries. That's the one.
Yeah. So my guys all had laptops, and they had email, but they never paid any attention to it. So I needed to get them to pay attention. So I started sending out a thought for the day, Monday through Friday, something humorous, something inspirational. And it worked. They started checking their emails, and even better, they started sharing it with their clients. And the client said, "Hey, that's great. Could we get on the list?" And hey, there's no postage on email, so why not? So I added their clients to the list, and 30 years later, I'm still sending this thing out free to anybody who would like to get it. I've got people reading it all over the U.S. I've got people reading it in Europe. I've got people in Australia, India. It just seems to, be something that people like because, hey, they can wake up in the morning and open their emails and, hey, there's something to make them smile. And if you can start the day with a smile, things are doing much better for you.
Mhm. I remember back in the day when email first came out. Of course, you had the dial-up internet, AOL, and of course, it's also sad that the dial-up has officially gone by the wayside last week. And of course, credit these guys with you got mail and everything. I remember seeing a thought for the day, and I thought that was really, really interesting as well. And of course, maybe share some thoughts about thought for the day. And where do you get all this thoughts and everything like that? From what source? Like with a book, magazine, newspapers, experience, or talking to somebody? It's like, how do you get these thoughts, to come in like a thought for the day?
Well, it's really very interesting because I just started writing them and to start with and picked them up here and there. And people that were reading it started sending me contributions. And then my job really became an editor rather than, a writer. And so, as it turns out today, I've probably got about 500 that I've never even used yet. I'm
Oh
still
my goodness.
editing them. So I haven't had a shortage of material. Okay. And what's fascinating is seeing the same things come around year after year after year after year with just a slight new twist on how they're happening. And people seem to like it. And so I got the idea when the news a couple of years ago on TV started getting everybody yelling and screaming at each other and nobody being happy. I said, people need to laugh more. So I took the idea for the book to a publisher, and they said, this would not make a good book. This would make a good series of books with all the material you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 20 years of internet humor simply because, although I've been doing it for 30 years, we have to remember back in the 90s, the computers weren't really as good as they are today. Didn't
Right.
have the
Yeah. What was it?
store.
The Apple, the Lisas, the Commodore 2s and everything. It's like
Oh, yeah.
my dad gave me a monster laptop. I have a hard time trying to hold the thing. The old floppy disk. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I didn't even think that I would need to save this material. So I didn't save most of it. And I realized years later that, gee, I should have saved it a lot earlier. But my savings, my material right now goes back to about 2005.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. Which is still 20 years. Hey, it's not bad. And so the publisher said, this is not a good book. This is a good series of books. You probably got 10 or 12 volumes here ready to go.
Okay.
And so when it came out, it was volume one, and I've got volumes two and three just about ready to go.
Oh my gosh, you've got a lot. Maybe share some of your thoughts for the day as well too.
Well, a lot of them are, very, very short. But one of them that I can tell you that men seem to love and women seem to hate is called The Origin of the White Wedding Dress. Okay. A boy asked his mother the following question: Mom, why are wedding dresses always white? And the mother looked at her son and said, Son, that's to show that the bride is pure. Well, the son was thinking about that and he decided to check it out. And he said, Dad, can you tell me why brides always wear white wedding dresses? And the father looked at him and said, Son, don't you know that all kitchen appliances come in white?
Oh my
Like I say,
goodness.
men love that one and women absolutely hate it.
Oh, bring back Betty White, please, will you, with the GE Westinghouse? Oh my gosh. Oh, I think I got a number of white appliances myself, but they've gone black. So,
Well, another favorite of mine is a story about a new teacher. It seems a former Marine Corps sergeant decided to take a job as a school teacher after he'd retired. And before the first school year started, he'd injured his back and
Mm.
found that, he had to wear a plaster cast over the upper part of his body. Now, it fit under his shirt so nobody would ever see it, but it was there. And when he went into school, the school had assigned him to the toughest kids around because, heck, he was a retired Marine. And the kids knew he was a Marine, so they were, really looking forward to seeing what this guy would be like. Well, on the first day of class, he went in and sat down at his desk, opened the windows because it was early in the year, early in the school year, and it was warm. And a breeze came in and was blowing papers over his desk, and it blew his tie up in the air. And he simply pulled his tie down, reached onto his desk, got a stapler, and stapled the tie to his chest.
Oh my gosh.
And the kids never gave him any trouble for the rest of the year.
Oh my gosh. Or nowadays, you don't need to wear a tie. You can just throw the tie away and try to staple your shirt. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think that's something we all look forward to is maybe another thought for the day, maybe in certain times and everything like that. I mean, I think I remember seeing a thought for the day back to me. Now since I get a flashback all over again. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And, laughter is the best medicine. Reader's Digest was using that.
I remember.
Art Linkletter came out with Kids Say the Darndest Things. Humor is a great thing. It's been around forever. And if you can start the day with a laugh, your day is doing better. And if you can make somebody else laugh, that's two people that are doing better. So share the stories.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's great too. I remember when the Far Side came out, I would collect those and post them up on the friends' doors or dorm rooms or anything like that, and just get a big laugh out of the Far Side. Peanuts cartoons. Let's see. I think there's also let's see, Doonesbury, Beetle Bailey, and all that. Now remember the comics. That was like our thought for the day. It's like you'll find a laugh out of Peanuts, the Far Side, or any cartoon like that.
Oh, yeah. Calvin and Hobbes.
There's another one. I remember that. Where are you going? Mass murder at Central High, and talks to Hobbes about it. So, oh my goodness. And then lastly, where can we find your 20 years of inner humor? How do people get a hold of you for consulting and everything like that, Bill?
Well, my website is internet-humor.com. You have to put that hyphen between internet and humor to get to me. And if you want to get the thought for the day, all you have to do is go to my website. You can sign up for it. Like I say, it doesn't cost anything. You can stop it anytime you want. And I've got people all over the world reading it. And that's about it. There's a lot of contact information on there, a lot of background information, a bunch of websites and podcasts that I've been on. This one will probably be on there later too.
And I'm sure it will, with all kinds of thoughts of the day and everything, and website, especially for WG Communications. Like say, hey, can you take on a project for me or whatever? So
sure. And like I say, you just push the button to get in contact with us, and that's not a problem.
Okay. All right. We'll certainly do that as well. We're here with the amazing author Bill Williams of 20 years of internet humor on the Mike Wender Show, also part of WG Communications. And Bill, just a few more things. What else can we expect from you in 2025 and beyond? Or going into 26, I should say.
Well, hope to see several more volumes of the book come out shortly. And that's really about it. I'm turning down my activities and other things because let's face it, I turned 82 this year.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. And I plan to be traveling around, talking to people and doing book signings and things of that nature, later this year and on into the future, as long as I can keep it up. So why not?
Why not? I think that's a good thing. And who do you consider biggest influence in the career?
There have been so many, Mike. Okay. I can't honestly call a single name out that says, this is who I tried to follow, because I didn't really try to follow anybody. I was making my own way. And most of the time, nobody had done what I had been doing, like, being a first director of news and information for FEMA. Nobody had ever had that job before. Most of the jobs I've had or things I've done, nobody ever did it before. So, hey, give it a shot. And if you're successful, great. And if you're not, do something different.
And I think that's a really good point as well too. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Do something and do it well. You know, I've been a film writer, I've been a magazine writer, I've been a newspaper writer, I've written just about everything imaginable. This is my first book. And I often have people say, "How do I get to write all those kinds of things like you do?" And the answer is very simple. Start with one and get good at that, and then try something else. But if you're not good at one thing, you're not going to be good at 12.
Mm. And that's a good thought for the day to write as well too. We'll put that in there too. Here with author Billy Williams of 20 years of internet humor here on the Mike Wagner Show. Bill, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your book and your services?
Well, people can get the book from Amazon or Barnes and Noble or Books a Million or any of the major bookstore chains. If they don't have it in stock, they can certainly order it because it's in their inventory. And they can get in touch with me for presentations or consultation by going to the website. And there's, once again, an opportunity to sign up or just email me at bill@internet-humor.com.
All right. Well, certainly check that out as well. Once again, Bill, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Glad to have you back. We wish you all best. And Bill, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike. It's been a great pleasure being here.